All right. Well, now it's looking like more is going to come out, and apparently it has. Apparently, over the evening, more information came out about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden's what they were up to in Ukraine. And so the part that's interesting is on Twitter, a person from Facebook said that he would limit how far this story got. So this is a sovereign country, an official justice department of a foreign country that we're on good terms with. That we before these people have supposedly been on the up and up in this. This is actually, in fact, we have video of Joe Biden making sure that he got a guy fired who he didn't like the way that this dude was behaving in the Justice Department of Ukraine. So this is now a Justice Department of Ukraine that had people unfriendly to Joe Biden kicked out like this. So this should be even better, even more credible. And now they want to indict him for criminal activity in their country. Facebook wants to hide this and claim that it's not actually a fact. So now we're at the stage where the Democrats have this weird magical mask, because the certified antiviral masks, that's what everybody's wearing, right? No, of course not. Because there is no such thing as a certified antiviral mask. They don't exist. They can't be done. And so having more than two genders, having these sort of anti-science, the crime numbers where you actually have victims of crime, so you could know, like, well, there was a perpetrator. What do we know about the perpetrators? Nope, that's science, that's data. And they don't like what the data says. So Black Lives Matter, burn shit down, because maybe you'll burn the data down? I don't know. And now we're at this, where the Democrats are like, it doesn't matter that this guy might have overthrown a government, helped overthrow a government, and start a war in a country simply so the family members of the party elite can rip the party off, and that now there's not really a doubt, and Facebook is protecting him. And openly, they're saying it on Twitter. We won't let anyone know about this. I love it. It's so delicious. It's delicious. Just to finally see this get exposed more and more and more. And my whole thing is I just want the honesty. That's my only thing. I just want the honesty. Now, the whole thing that this ends up coming down to is at some point people say conspiracy theory this, conspiracy theory that. Well, no, it's not. This is the whole deal with there being this thing about the Russians this or the Russians that, was what ended up happening was at the end of the Obama administration, more and more declassified Cold War files were coming out. And so the Russians were having a good time with some of these declassified war files because they were pointing out, remember all those Nazis you guys hired in the State Department? And that got shut down. That story went nowhere. Now you can find it. Now people are bringing it up. Like Israel brings it up in Haaretz and in the Forward. A lot of people are bringing this up now. That this wasn't just rockets. This wasn't just Merck. This wasn't just Bayer. This thing called the Pentagon was lousy with these former members of the Reich and other governments that were affiliated with it. Now, you would think at some point somebody would have thought to drum this out, especially the black president wouldn't have liked this kind of thing. But it worked for him. And that was, and what he did with these kinds of people, he dipped into the end of it that had to do with the Islamic world, what John Loftus called in his book, the America's Nazi Secrets, he called the Islamic fascists. And that's what a big part of the whole jihadi thing that was going on in Syria was about. So now we're starting to really see how big tech is more than willing to cover this up. That when it comes to actually busting legitimate Nazis, the Democrats really are not just nowhere to be found. They absolutely positively won't do it if it comes to the advantage of their party elite and gives them power.